Lateron sits on a really fundamental crustal boundary. This is the means by which metals come from the mantle up to the crust. So from that really regional point of view, Lateron's got a really good structural setting. But we've got some more detailed information from historical drilling at Lateron. Afmeco in the early 80s, looking for uranium, drilled a bunch of stratigraphic holes, and they tagged the basement in this one hole, and they got some really interesting clues there. Particularly some sulfides in the rock. So we got pyrite and chalcopyrite associated with magnetite and a few other minerals. From the regional to the local, we've got some strong indications at Lateron. But thirdly, we can see that where Afmeco tagged that basement, it's associated with a magnetic feature. And those are really discrete features, which a number of them that extend across about 7 square kilometers. So putting it all together, we've got some strong indications that there's some sulfide mineralization around. It covers an area which is large enough to host a multi-million ounce equivalent mineral deposit. So essentially it fits our basic criteria with Buxton as we move forward with our exploration programs. At Lateron, we've got some historical information, as I said, from Afmeco's drilling. We had some detailed aeromagnetic surveying at 150-meter line spacing, but we really wanted to understand things like how deep is it to these targets and how discrete are they. So we've gone and infilled the gravity, and we've also done some passive seismic work. This is really important because now we can see that firstly, we've got sulfides associated with magnetite, so we can target the magnetic features. We've modeled them in 3D. We've got some really specific features, but now at the prospect scale, we can see the structural significance of those. The gravity outlines a major or a central crustal block. It's sort of triangular in shape, and those magnetic features sit around the structurally bounded edges of that block. We can go and target the most shallow one. As we get information from that drilling program, this modeling allows us then to predict where that system might be channeling down at depth, so we can target our follow-on work. We can also see that there are multiple targets, and we can see that these could well be within the reach of relatively cheap RC drilling. Putting all of that together, there are multiple elements and multiple reasons why we do these initial geophysical surveys to help us constrain our work as we move forward. We're currently finalizing a native title agreement with the local Aboriginal people. After that's executed, we can undertake a heritage survey so that we can conduct our exploration works going forward in consultation and collaboration. And what we're trying to do is line up Lateron alongside of Centurion and Madman for a big winter drilling campaign in 2026.